Okay, let's talk about these two tabs, scene and game asset. First, you open the build box. You can see the game asset, and you can insert any 3D object in your scene. And you can see if you insert object, for example, AI assistants, or import it, you can see it's a blank. You can see them here, and you can see we have imported all object before and new object. For example, in this case, I holding Ctrl C or Ctrl V or A to copy of them. You can see it tells me I have 6 of these cubes, and this orange means you selected this. So if you insert this object, the main object with the main setting and parent objects that are they are not child object, they are instance and copy of this object that are 6. For example, we are one object here. For example, if you insert it there, you can see we have one object. Or copy, you have see more object in your scene. And all of these objects are individual, and but the main properties of them depends on these properties of this main object here. And if you want to object your act as a character, you have to drag and drop it in a character. So it means this car acts like character, and the software understanding of the category is very important, because in other tools and other part of the software, it's very important that the software has to be recognized that object as a character, not simple object. Or you can drag and drop it in this part. In game assets, you can change the view of like this, like tree, but you cannot see how many instances of object there. You can add your library from here to your object. It's very easy. For example, this free and add to project, it's adding there. It has to be download and preparing to, it's giving to your game assets tab. I call this scene manager, and it's there. You can see the primitives and the camera, sun, sky, box tool, and ground, and start and end scene. I will show you next lesson. But if you want to go to the scene, you can see we have camera, sun, ground, sky, box, and this is a start scene. I will show you more. This is a start scene that all of the games and things happen in between these two start. You can see there, and the end. And we have lots of other tools here. So you can see we have a lots of cube here that you can access them individually here, flower here. You can turn them off or on, visible or lock them if you want. It's very simple. This is in the start scene. All of the object that in a scene is in the start scene. If you go and you want to add another level to your scene, you can add from new scene. As you can see, it's completely empty, and you have to insert other objects here. You can right click and delete that. So we come back to this scene again. If you have a lots of objects here you can filter it. For example, if you want to just see the objects or dynamic enemy, anything that you want, you can filter it to access it. Another important thing about this scene that you can drag and drop them. You can delete them from here. You can drag and drop them on each of them, and for example, you want to make it parent and this make it child. It's very simple. Drag and drop it under this object. You can see this cube now. If you move it, the child object will be moved with that. You can rotate it, and the child object rotate based on that object, but the child object can move separately. It's very important and nice. For example, you can, for example, add simple point light from here, and you want to, for example, connect this light to this cube. It's very simple. You can go to the scene, and this is a point line, and you can drag and drop it under the cube. And if you move the cube, the lights and other objects that are connected are moving with that. Interesting. And this part, you can see it's in make a folder, and you can cut, copy, paste, lock, and hide, and duplicate it, or delete that. If you want to change the name of that, you have to select it and change name of that from here. Okay, this individual cube, and again you can changing our name it that again here. Okay, and we have other tools there. That's it. It's very simple, so you understand what happened here. It's a word, and it's a little bit confusing, but it's something like this in buildbox. So, for example, we have one object of that. Here you can hide it, you can lock it again, you can access there. You can hide it and lock it, and then you cannot move it. So you can insert in project here if you want. So there's an object. If you Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, you can copy it, and tells you we have two of that. Okay. In the next lesson, we are going to change skybox. And we don't have anything else here. I will be show you what is the start and end. It's very easy, and how to create scene path and scene point. Another thing that I want to explain and forget to tell you, for example, I showed it before, but if you select object from game assets, we have main setting of that. But if you select objects from scene, you have just position, rotation, and scale of that. So it means if you copy object from here, for example, from here, you can see we have 3 of them. All of the object that you insert from this object, if you change any setting of here, it will be inherit to all of these objects. So don't forget that. If you want, for example, add a new cube, you have to insert new cube from here. You can see we have a new cube here. That it's better to rename it to avoiding any confuse for later. So we change the name of just this cube. Okay, this is the main cube that you have to change it from here. This is the main, for example. You can see changing the name of the head for better seeing that you can make it something like that. This is the main cube, and if you copy them, they are instanced of this main, and you can access them from here. Little bit confused, but it's the buildbox behavior law, something like this.